to work with you.
Yeah, Brandy's great.
So have you like talked about that? Maybe doing a song?
We used to hang and talk a lot, but then we kind of like started hustling and figuring it out because the industry is like that. But I mean, that's a legend. You know what I mean? Brandy's great. Everybody knows that. Like that's like a no-brainer.
I think you should write like a song.
I would love to. I've written for her and Kelly. I didn't understand my voice. I hated it as a kid. I thought it was different. All the girls sung in soprano, and if you could sing high and you could belt, you were like the cool thing. And I was kind of this scared sound.
Tony Braxton was around then.
But I wasn't listening to R&B at the time. I was listening to alternative rock.
I mean, but what was real? Aubrey said some crazy stuff, like accused you of some wicked stuff. How did she was saying some stuff about you logging on the internet?
Yeah, but this is Don't Wake Me Up. This is Dawn, and you're watching Malcolm Music.
So I'm sitting here with the marvelous, incredible, amazing Dawn Rashad. Ich bin extra aus Deutschland, aus München angereist. She tore the stage up. I've been a fan of yours ever since, like literally since making the band, like since you first started singing like A Dangerously in Love.
Oh my God.
Like, who is this girl with this husky voice? And it was incredible. So like congratulations on all of your success. I'm the biggest fan of yours. You don't even know. Like I need to show you. I ordered the golden heart CD back in the day when I had like six likes on Instagram because I was like way back.
I'm so honored. You don't even know what that means to me. For you guys to still stay with me and support me for all this time.
Talk about that experience, knowing like there were people chanting in Portugal every single word that you like.
I didn't even know how to feel. I see the headlines. I let you get your shine. Now we up in the light. Come to win this fight.
Like, how was that? What kind of feeling is that to know that a country you've never...
I've never been here.
Yeah.
I've never been here. I thought we were going to have 3 people in the audience. I had no idea what to expect. And I'm speechless. Like, I wanted to cry. I'm shocked at what this movement has grown so big. And all I can do is say, this is the reason why I do it. I'm honored. Like, I'm a fan of you guys. Like, you're the reason why I'm even doing this, because literally I am doing this with my own money, my own hands, my bare hands. I'm building the triangle, I'm taking it down, I'm building the lights, I'm doing it all, I'm carrying it to the airports, and I'm doing all of it. But then when that moment happens, it's like, that's why you do it. That's why you do it for moments like that. I am honored, yeah.
One thing I love about you is like a reoccurring theme to me is the number 3.
Yes.
So you have 3 dances, it's a trilogy. So you talk about triangle, all of that. So like, are you big on numerology? Is that like, where does that come from?
It actually comes from, I grew up Roman Catholic, actually. And the Trinity was always a big, not necessarily a religious thing, but I always thought it was beautiful to me. There was something beautiful about 3 persons in one. There was always something great about when I would go to school in literature. They're supposed to be the beginning, the middle, and the end. The body, the preface, the body, and then the ending. When I would read series, it always kind of happened in 3s, where books would have the beginning, the middle, and the final chapter. And I just kind of thought that was interesting, and I kind of applied all those things into one thing and realized, you know, I could split this whole journey of my life into 3 pieces. The beginning, the kind of naive moments in your life where you feel like you can conquer all things. And then the reality of it all, when the world tells you, no, you can't. And you fall really hard, and you encounter failure in a really major way. And I think everybody can relate to that when you have a dream and you feel your first no, that really big no that you really want it. And then your recovery, the place where you realize, I am what I am. I've come to a place that I'm satisfied with myself. And I think everybody can relate to that, and they all have that moment in their lives at different times.
That's something you touched on, because I've been dealing with that, even though it was my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And I had an interview where I felt like, I didn't love, and I had like regrets that ate me up, and I had nightmares, because and I had these shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's like, I wanted to go back. What should I have done? you know, you can't change it.
You can't.
And I'm a pedantic person. Like, I want to, like, I'm a perfectionist. I want to be everything proper. And maybe I see that in you as well. So you've probably had your fair share of moments where, like, oh my God, I wish, had I said this, then maybe it would have happened.
25 seconds.
So how do you get over that? Like, how do you just keep on pushing? Because you keep it the fuck moving. You don't, like, you're not like, oh, this didn't work out. You're like,
I'm
okay.
human. I have those days daily. I have days where I think I'm going to stop. I can't do this anymore. How am I going to eat? How am I going to pay my bills? Like, I'm doing this and what for? The world doesn't even see me. I have all those days. And then I realize, would I be happy doing anything else? Like, what could I do the other things? Absolutely. But would it feel like this? Would I get to do this? And no, I won't. Like, that feeling, that right there, being in Lisbon, seeing a sign on a window saying welcome Dawn, and I've never been here before, that is better than any high, any food, any drug, anything. That, to touch people, is something that I cannot express. And that is what keeps me going. To be able to relate and see that I am not the only person that is fighting for something in their lives. We are all weirdos. We are all misfits. We are all trying to figure out. We have insecurities, and we're all trying to figure out what is our place in this world. And I think that music has a way of combining us together and putting us into perspective. And I think no matter what we look like, we share that, and that's powerful.
Even though you're an independent artist, you have a huge, humongous catalog. I was like, why didn't she do this? Why didn't she do that song? So I want to kind of go through and work through your whole music, because I like my iTunes is full. So I need some trivia. We really gonna, you know what I'm saying, try and break everything down for the fans. Your very first record, I actually have that. It's called Been a While.
Oh, God.
That was your government,
Please
Dawn Angela.
Don't do that. Yes. Okay.
And I love the record. I know you don't really talk about it a lot, but how did you, even if you don't like the music, you did it by yourself, and you're still by yourself, and look where you are now, look where you were then, and it's all has been independent. The trajectory is incredible. But how was that experience before you had the fame and you still got an album out?
I still don't have the fame, babe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't fuck the fame.
But before you were on that reality show. Talk about that
was
era
great.
in your life.
It was great. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. My hair was a mess. My skin was ridiculous, and my dad was my piano player. Like, that was oh,
I love you don't like I love it, for the record. I love it.
Everyone loves the shit I hate. No, that was good. It was me and my dad against the world, and we had each other, and that was what we were. And I was a kid. I was a baby. I was like 16, 17. No, younger, 15. I don't know. It was my first time really being in the studio and really taking it seriously. It was the choice that I made that decided I wanted to do music. And it was cool. Neo wrote that record.
The Still in Love one?
Mm-hmm. Oh. That was my first time meeting Neo.
Wow. Yeah. But there were a bunch of gems. But I know you don't. But like, no, I love, like, Can You Have a Lot of Boots?
Oh my God.
I love. It just goes to show
make fun of me.
How much
Booty in the pants. Oh,
how much of a fan I am.
That
like, really,
crazy.
like I all I need. So that was like the Do It that you did. So you remember? Yeah. So it was a great album. So after that, you went.
I love you.
It's an amazing record. After that, you went on Making the Band.
Yeah.
It was my favorite show. I rushed home. We had MTV in Germany too to watch you. I thought you were my favorite singer. And I kind of said it before, but when I heard you sing, you had a very melismatic, husky voice, almost like Middle Eastern, the way you did like your placements and runs. I don't know if you've ever heard that before.
No, that's new. And actually, I'll take that one. I can understand why you would say that, though. Yeah. And
you've done work with like a Turkish producer. Is that maybe a world? And you've done work with like a Greek rapper and stuff. It's like, is that world something you want to explore? Maybe.
Absolutely. Again, world music was always my favorite. You know, I like one of my favorite artists is Lionel Lueke, and he's an African performer. Yeah, I always say I loved women that have voices that sound like cognac and cigars, like whiskey. You know, they had like a brown liquor voice, that kind of soul. Otis Redding, like that really husky, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, like they had that huskiness, and then that makes you feel like you can feel their soul. And I didn't understand my voice. I hated it as a kid. I thought it was different. All the girls sung in soprano, and if you could sing high and you could belt, you were like the cool thing, and I was kind of this huskier sound.
Toni Braxton was around during
but I wasn't listening to R&B at the time. I was listening to alternative rock. So I didn't I wasn't gravitating toward that sound, so I kind of just.
So you measured like your own vocal by the way that your favorite alternative rock singers.
No, I preferred their tones because it was different. Like I loved the Cranberries just because that voice was yodely and and like waily, and I loved Melissa Etheridge because it was like dirty and like, you know, I preferred girls that had grunge in their voices, but I didn't know of R&B like that until I kind of got older. That wasn't what I gravitated to.
Did you feel pressured as a black woman to do R&B then when you did your first album, because it's a very R&B album, and then maybe people could be like, why didn't you do a rock album?
Well, to be honest, I come from a pop group and I went to an hip hop with a label that was pretty hip hop and R&B. Yeah. And I felt like if I would have done exactly what I wanted to do, it would have been
too jarring. But even before the reality show, you did an R&B album, is what I'm saying.
You talking about
the album you don't like? No,
I love that album. No, because my dad did it. It was my dad and I, and we were from New Orleans. Okay. And
so he wasn't going to give you a Cranberry CD.
No, he was not going to give me a Cranberry CD. Come on. Absolutely. And again, to be honest, I didn't even know if that was something that I could do. Like, I was a black girl. Like, you know... I mean, to be honest, we were doing club appearances, and I would be like, they called me the Black Britney Spears. I kid you not. Because I would go into these clubs, and they were bounce music and hip-hop, and then I would have, like, 8 girl dancers. We'd have these tight pants and half shirts. Yeah. And we would do pop music. And they would always say that Black Britney Spears girl. And it wasn't even that. It's just, I always had an affinity for pop, for that sound of pop culture. But I could never cross over into alternative because that wasn't... First of all, my dad didn't really know that world. He knew my dad was into funk and blues and soul, and that's what he knew, and that's what we started with.
Is that maybe something where, like, if you were like a different type of artist, people wouldn't have a hard time putting you like with FKA Twigs and all that, but always people like to classify you in the R&B world, which
Twigs and them came out as Twigs and them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Twigs came out as herself, and so did Santa Gold, and so did all these beautiful artists. I started on a TV show that was pop, and then I went into a hip-hop soul group, so it became a bit confusing, I think, to people, and so they started to think, well, since you did R&B, you should stay R&B. But that was never how I saw it. I felt like I could do an album like Dawn Angelique, and then I could do it Danity Kane.
And you took me with you, you know. I was an R&B consumer, and now...
I didn't see, like, when you said you did an R&B album, so didn't you think that... I didn't look at it like that. I did music, and that was how I saw it. I didn't think that I would be limited because I did on Dawn Angelique's album that I would not be able to do an alternative album someday. I mean, my first concert was Green Day. I felt like I could do it all if I wanted to.
The song, the first Danity Kane album came out, and you had Sleep on It. I love it. Your part is so incredible. Did you write on that record?
No, I did not. That was Pooh Bear, and that record only made the album because y'all loved it so much. Okay. Because we hated it. We hated that.
But your part is insanity. Yeah. It's crazy.
Thank you. And it's so funny that they needed the story for me, and I didn't have one. Yeah. So they had to make me look like I was messing up on the bridge part so that it looked like I had a hard part.
Oh, on the show, okay. Oh, so you had...
I didn't have a story.
Talking about that, that kind of happened because I was looking forward to it. You tried to do another reality show on E! And it was like something came out. You and the girls.
Oh, the girls, yeah.
You tried to do another show.
Yeah.
And why didn't it happen? Because I thought it would have been like a cool moment.
To be honest, Aubrey really wanted us to do a show because she felt like that would help. Well, not only she, but the label wouldn't sign us. No label would sign us as DK3. And they said the only way they would sign us is if we had a TV show. And Aubrey's really good with TV. So, like, I think she really loves it. So she was like, I think I could help us get in that world. And we were like, okay, well, that's fine. I just wanted to do music. So I was like, cool, let's do it. So we did the E! Stuff, but we were boring, to be honest.
But there was some drama. Was it authentic?
Was fake. No, It was totally fake. It was played. They were trying to find something to really make us interesting because we weren't interesting. And they were like, well, Dawn, you came from a solo project, so let's act like you'll come to shit late, and we'll make it seem like you come to the thing late, and then it's a whole thing. We'll fake a fight. It was so fake, and I think people read through it. Not people, but the actual like show. The what is it? The TV programmers read through it. So
like the tastemakers who were like
the people who would like buy the show. It's the pilots. They didn't buy it, and so we didn't get a TV show. I think that's really like it was fake, and we thrive off of when we are real. You guys met us when we were real. We were real kids. I think the fake thing didn't do us justice, and it wasn't who we were, and so no one took us. That's honest. That's the truth.
I mean, but what was real? Aubrey said some crazy stuff, like accused you of some wicked stuff. How do you respond to like that's very vile? Like
I think we've moved on.
Okay.
I really do. I think we moved. I think it's so old and it's so petty to continuously talk about it. Let's leave it. Like, let's really leave it, and let's talk about the great things all of us are doing. I'm so over us being petty or talking about things that are so old.
I mean, yeah, you're killing the stage here in
Thank you.
this line.
I just want to do music. I don't want any problems. I don't want any talk about anything that'll be negative. I wish everyone the best.
Was there truth to what you were saying?
No. I think everybody has their own truth. That was not real what she talked about. But again, saying that will only be everyone else saying you're a liar. It never. People will pick their sides. I think let that be what it is and move on. I could sit here and fight for myself all day. People will believe what they want to believe. I know who the fuck I am. I know what I say and I know what I didn't say. That is not true. But again, here we are. I'm doing music.
But you setting the record straight.
I said it straight the first time. And you guys consistently keep going back.
She was saying some stuff about you logging on the internet and some crazy stuff.
But this is the thing. I said the first time what it was. Here we are sitting again and you're asking me again if it's the same thing.
Okay. What I love, you came out with Golden Heart. It's like my favorite album ever. Like, I raped that CD. It's the best CD ever. I love Black Card. I really love Black Card. But Golden Heart, that shit it's literally like the best album ever.
Thank you.
My favorite.
It's funny, everybody has their favorites because the newcomers and the new fans are like, Black Heart's the one where it
I have a friend, he's like, what you talking about?
But that's the reason why I did what I did. I wanted people to be able to have a conversation and talk and say, I like the Black Heart. Nope, I like to go. It causes conversation, and you find your characters in your different albums. I didn't want to make the same album 3 times. So I did an album for each kind of genre and each kind of feel that felt good for me. And the Golden Heart, more of the R&B heads, more of the urban heads will gravitate toward Golden Heart. More of the electronic, more of the dance heads will kind of like Black Heart better. And then the Redemption era will be a different vibe, and people will be able to like fight over it and talk about it and say, no, this is my favorite. And that's what you want. You want people to fall in love with the projects that they gravitate to. You
said something amazing, Redemption era.
Yeah.
So I never know, what is this album really going to be called? Redemption Heart.
Yeah.
I
just call it Redemption because it's Redemption Heart is so fucking long.
Okay.
Yeah, it's such a long title. Yeah.
Do you know when it's going to come out? Is it going to come out? Okay, so it's not going to be like all the albums January 15.
No.
That would have been like a great like numerology thing.
Yeah,
but it's going to come out this
it needs to come out this. I would have done that, but it needs to come out.
Okay.
If it was up to me, it would have came out this January.
Okay.
But I'm doing some really cool things with technology that takes a bit more time, like the VR piece and things like that.
And I've seen with Dawn, like you said, you have a shoestring budget, but you really, like, everything is amazing, impeccable. You have a deal with Adidas now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, Dawn, you better get them endorsements. What is going on? And I kind of hear talks. You have like a new label situation. You're with MBK, so it's like,
I'm working.
What is the magic?
I have a partnership that I'm working with Sony and MBK. I have. I think people are just starting to see that the indie world is a new world. It doesn't have to look the way you think it is. It doesn't have to look DIY, even though it is DIY. And that's cool. You know, I think we're setting precedents to say that, you know, the machine is great, but we're over here killing it too, and nothing's wrong with that, you know. And that's what I'm proud of, is that we are doing this with our own hands. We're building this with our own hands, and it's beautiful. So I'm really glad you guys see it. I mean, doing a VR piece is not easy, and we're one of the first artists. I mean, there are very few artists really messing with VR right now. So to be an indie artist and be in the VR world and have it premiere with Wired magazine is pretty awesome.
You have lots of great mates on your management team, lots of amazing young singers. Have you like mingled with them, thought about collaborating?
I don't have a management team.
You're not like Jeff, he doesn't?
Jeff is with MB. That's the label.
Oh, okay, that's the label.
Myself,
okay. But have you like connected with the other girls? There's like...
What you mean?
There's Justine, Sky.
Oh, I haven't met them, but I love them. They're gorgeous. Love them. MBK has a great team. They're great people.
There's also Brandy on it, and she expressed that she would love to work with you.
Yeah, Brandy's great.
So have you like talked about that? Maybe doing a song?
We used to hang and talk a lot, but then we kind of like started hustling and figuring it out because the industry is like that. But That's a legend. You know what I mean? Brandy's great. Everybody knows that. Like, that's like a no-brainer.
I feel like you should write like a song. Like,
I would love to. I've written for her and Kelly before.
Oh, really?
They just never did the records.
Kelly Rowland.
Yeah, I love Kelly.
Did these songs come out that you wrote for them?
No, they never did them. We were supposed to connect and then we just never did. But they're great. Love them.
You wrote a song for Zendaya.
Yes.
How was that?
Great. She did a great job to it. Fireflies. It was a great record, and she's a sweetheart, like really sweet girl, and destined for great things. She's really beautiful girl.
Okay, talk about Redemption Heart.
Yes.
I can't wait for the album to come out. We had Dance written by Esther Dean, co-written by her, come out, and None Above That. So many songs. Basically, the whole album. We would think. Yeah, you would think. So what is like something that the fans, the hearts, don't know yet about Redemption Heart that we can expect?
That those singles may or may not be on the album. It could be a whole new album. Honestly, we have so many great records. Like, these records aren't even the best. If you can grasp that. They're not even the best songs. Yeah.
Are you going to do more visuals also for the records?
Absolutely.
Who are some of the producers? Are you completely...
And Noise Castle, too.
Noise Castle also did Black Heart. Are you working with the Golden Heart producers anymore?
No.
Oh, okay.
There was only one, and I'm not working with him. I'm just working with Machine Drum and Noise Castle.
Because I love the work you did with Drewski, but...
Yeah, we don't work anymore, but now Machine Drum and Noise Castle for this one.
Is there like a title, something that you can give us that we don't know yet? We can be excited, like wonder about how is this going to sound? What is this song going to be like?
I've got a few. One of my favorites is called The Louvre. Mm-hmm. The interludes that I have, You Will Hate Me, because they need to be songs, like I always do. And that's about it.
I'd like to play a little game.
I'm never going to give y'all too much tea.
Too much tea.
No, too much tea.
You don't want to burn your time.
I don't want to burn your time. Yeah.
Something I've always wanted to do, but was too scared.
Mm-hmm.
You finish a sentence.
Have sex in the library.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You've literally thought about that?
Yeah, the books and the way it smells, and then just getting to lie. It's great. It's very educational.
What is a book you're reading right now?
Rich Bitch.
Rich Bitch?
Yeah, it's for finance. It's a finance book.
Is it gonna get you become a rich bitch?
I like the way it's talking. I like the way they're talking about investments. We'll see.
The first thing I do in the morning.
Brush my teeth.
Most people say check their phone.
No, brush my teeth. Fuck a phone. Brush my teeth. You got stink ass breath looking at the phone. You stink breath ass.
Something I cannot stand about myself.
I'm a bitch when I'm a control freak in the sense that I gotta have things right, and I gotta sometimes let go and let people lead. It's just hard. I don't mind people leading if they're leading me in the right direction. If I can see if I can see the smoke and the fire happening and you're leading me into the fire, I get real crazy. And I gotta let go sometimes and just go into the fire sometimes.
I kind of already talked about that, but in a moment of regret, I get joy and remedy from.
I get joy and remedy from my family. I don't know, they just make me happy. And the forest. The further away I am from people and into the trees and creeks with my dog and my family, the better I feel.
My music is so beautiful because
I don't know about that one. I hope that my music is beautiful.
It is.
Because I would love to change people's perspective, and I would love to make them feel healed. I would love to heal people if I could.
I know Björk is a huge inspiration.
Yes, big. I know people always
you must
say,
make something happen.
I would die 1,000 deaths to make that happen. I appreciate everybody, and I had that conversation before where people were saying you don't appreciate Brandy, and Brandy, I found out about Brandy later in life, but she is amazing. And they say you are stupid because you don't say that you get influenced by her. Of course her vocals are amazing, and of course you get appreciation for her. She's amazing, but for me, Björk, if you listen to my music, you'll see that there is an obvious kind of inspiration behind that because of the choice of cadence in the records, the emptiness in the records, and this kind of quest that she kind of brings you on through her albums, and I just adore what she did. And like that to me is, if you could, like, Kate Bush and her are really like huge influences.
For those people that come maybe from a world where Björk and Kate Bush are not big, if you want to give them like one record, like just listen to that album and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Hyper Ballad by Björk, no question. Listen to Hyper Ballad, like for real. Like that, if I would have written the Hyper Ballad, like just the choice of cadence within the record, it's not on the one. She comes in a different presence, and I just love the way she tells the story. I could see it, the cups falling down the cliff, standing on the cliff. There's a story being told, and that right there is magic when you can see it, when a person sings and you can see the story unfolding. Like, that's epic to me, and I just thought that she told stories very well.
Ever since formation, everybody's talking about their heritage.
Yeah.
So I know you're Haitian, right? You said you're
my
Catholic, or your father's Haitian.
My father.
So what is what are you? What is your formation? What are you made of?
Well, to be honest, I'm New Orleans all day. Like, I'm Haitian, but my father, my great grandfather's from Jacmel in Haiti, but I am New Orleans through and through. I sleep, eat, breathe my city. So my formation is the 9th Ward.
Okay.
I'm 9 all day. I live and eat, sleep, and breathe not only the Haitian culture, but the New Orleans culture and who we stand for and what we are.
Are you big on heritage?
Hell yeah. My great grandfather, my parents in our time, my great grandfather, they were slaves. My great grandfather, and you couldn't speak. If you spoke a different language, you were killed because you were considered educated. So they never spoke the language. They never taught us Creole or French. So we never learned. So I had to force myself to kind of get back into French. And when they moved to New Orleans, French culture was really big there, but they never spoke to us about our heritage. So my brother and I had to learn on our own.
You speak a little French or Creole?
A little bit, but not enough to really be proud of myself. The way when I went to Haiti, they were kind of like, poor girl. They speak Spanish, French, Creole, everything.
Yeah.
I kind of was like, I got.
No, my father's Nigerian. They speak.
They were like, poor girl, you're not really Haitian. Stop. But I got to teach myself and learn again, and that's fine. But I do love my heritage, and I do love the city that I come from. My city is amazing, and if you haven't been in New Orleans, you need to go and get your life. Yeah. Somebody
who inspired you, Prince.
Yes.
We lost him.
Yeah.
How did you find out about that?
I don't know. I saw it online and I couldn't believe it. Freddie Mercury and Prince has kind of been huge fashion icons for me. Like, I'm so sad by that. I just can't even believe it. He is monumental for me. I can't even. He was my favorite. He was my favorite.
Crazy stuff has been happening, and you're like an icon. You have lots of gay fans.
Yes, I love the gays.
You love your gay fans.
Well, I actually had my triangle rainbow on purpose, just because of in light of Orlando and the killing that happened.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'm pissed. People should be what they are, and if we can't love each other and let people love who they are, then we have a fucking problem. I'm not happy, and I'm very disappointed in humanity and where we are right now. We should be able to live and love who we want to love. And it is beautiful to see that we are in a place that we can be who we are, and to have someone try to take that away from you, and the way they're taking it away is disrespectful and disgusting. It's disgusting. So in honor of that, every show we've been doing just rainbow colors in the triangle, just to show our love to all our gay fans, our trans, our fluids, whatever, green, blue, pink. Love who you are, love who you're with. And I'm so disappointed by that. I cannot believe that we're in a place in a time where we are still this divided.
I've seen you doing like a very frisky interview with Chelsea Handler and
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
So it's like, is that like something you've dabbled in with? Are the ladies interesting for you?
I never looked at it like, oh, you like men or oh, you like women. I prefer men. But I've always thought women were beautiful. I've never looked at it like I would never try. I would love whoever would come to my life. But we've always been that free. In New Orleans, one of our biggest artists are transgender artists. Katie Red, Big Frida, yeah. Like, that's always been New Orleans. So like, we've never saw it like that. It's always been just
but it's a different thinking about it or actually acting on it.
Yeah, but I prefer men, but I've never not said I wouldn't. I've just never met a woman that I've been like, I want to be in love with you. But that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna be with I'm gonna be with who I love. Just so happens it's a dude. Maybe that doesn't matter for me. But I always say that because I've never been not open to it. I never called myself straight. I just love. I don't see the difference there. But I've always been that way, very free in that sense. I'm just glad the world is catching up. I just hope they can respect it. Like, catch up and then respect people's choice. It seems like we're afraid of the choice, and that's ridiculous.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
He was a big, iconic figure.
He was, and Puff loved him, and we would. Oh man, it was Muhammad everywhere, and so like that. I remember just reading the books. They were everywhere, and he was so always in front of us. It was all Muhammad Ali, and I get it. I get why and what he was, and to see, I think you can tell the man by when he dies and the people that respect him. He had indigenous people at his funeral. Like, just the amount of respect he had and what he was to be proud to be a man of color. I wish all of us had that kind of pride. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I wish all of us could speak in the way he spoke about his culture and his self, you know, the way he loved himself and power in the words he spoke. He believed he was great, and therefore he was.
It's great that you touched on that. Another person who I really, she's very outspoken. She's independent, and she's also a brown sister like you. Azealia Banks has been going through a lot. I think you guys need to connect. It's a no-brainer.
I kind of wish we would. She just didn't reach out. So hopefully maybe one day.
So you did reach out?
Yeah.
How did you view like the whole controversy? She got blocked from Twitter. They crucified her.
Open your mouth, somebody's gonna say some bullshit. You know, you gotta be just ready for it. I think she's a smart girl. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing, and I think you can't shut up somebody who has an opinion. If you're free enough to go and shoot somebody, you can leave a girl alone enough to say what she wants to say. If she gets banned, I think Donald Trump should be banned off. I think a lot of people should be banned off Twitter before.
Zimmerman,
Zimmerman, Iqbal fucking Pierce, fucking, what is his name? Pierce
Morgan?
Pierce Morgan should be fucking banned. Like, there's a lot of people that have said some really ridiculous shit that needs to be banned.
Is that something you went through, where people didn't respect you because...
They still don't. People don't respect me, but that's okay, you demand it. And if they don't, you just keep trucking until you become big enough for them to. Because people will respect you, number one, if they really love you, or number two, you have enough money.
Put some respect on her name.
Well, I'm putting motherfucking respect on my name, period. So it don't really matter if you do or not. I'm going to do it for my goddamn self. You know what I mean? That's just what, you know, people only have power if you give it to them.
I love you so much, Dawn.
I love you too.
It's been a dream of mine. Like, it's like 10 years that I've been a fan. My brother, he was like, he liked some other girl, but I was like, Dawn is the one. I'm telling you, Dawn is the one, and I've been a fan forever. And thanks for rocking with
all of us from the beginning. Like, we may be flawed and we may be bullshit sometimes, but it's love. It's love. Thank you for rocking with all of us, and I hope you guys continue to, because at the end of the day, again, there's room for everybody, and there's room for love. It don't have to be so hateful. It doesn't have to be so manipulative, and it doesn't have to be so malicious. You know, it can be genuine and be kind and be great, and I think that's what we need to get to. You know, we're so petty these days, and I'm included. I've been petty Jenkins a lot, but I think we gotta grow up. We gotta grow up and be happy for everybody. And I think that's the place I'm looking to be at. It's cool to live in the past, but I really think you really win when you choose to move on and be okay with whatever has happened and be in the present.
As a very final thing.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, the great R. Kelly, he was like having like a rant.
Yeah.
People don't support music anymore.
No.
Where do you stand on that? And does he have a point? Do you feel his pain? Tank, Tyrese said similar stuff. What is your take on this whole debate?
I feel like I'm going to create the world that I want. I can sit here and say that nobody supports, or I can come to Lisbon and see a packed house full of people. I'm seeing my support. Even when there's 3 people in front of me, that's support. I'm going to create the world I see for myself. Instead of complaining about it, I'm going to build the world that I want to build and see it in my perspective. And my perspective is, if it's 4 people or 700 people or 70,000, that's support enough for me.
Thank you so much. I hope you're going to work with him someday.
I promise. I love him. He's the fucking best, dude. He's the best. One of the best writers ever, yeah.
Thank you so very much. Just take a quick picture and then we're done.
Yes, we're done. Okay, good. This is Malcolm.
You're Dawn.
No,
Malcolm Music, yeah.
Malcolm Music.
Malcolm
You're
Music.
listening to, and you're watching.
And you're watching, yeah.
You're watching Malcolm Music.
Yes. Hey everyone, thank you so very much for watching yet again another one of my interviews. It's so stressful, but it's really fun. I love it every single time. I actually was in Portugal for this one. This is how much I love Dawn. Like, I actually booked a flight to fly to Portugal. Right now, actually, I'm talking to Christina Milian's team. I really hope it's going to work out. She's not going to watch this out. But I'm kind of low-key a little scared because, you know, I did the Nivea interview for those who've been following me for a while, so that was a little scandalous. So I really hope she might not see it, and you know, we still get to talk, so then I can address it with her. Back to Dawn, I just love her. She's super talented. I must say I could have maybe went a little harder as far as some of the questions, but I wanted to keep it positive, and I try to touch on, you know, all the gossipy stuff. Thank you so very much for, you know, being like supportive and stuff and watching and spreading. I really appreciate it. It's the greatest feeling ever to get a message, so don't be hesitant to do such. I'm very quick to reach. You know, if you message me on Facebook, Twitter, I'll respond like in like a minute or something. I always have a video question so I can check who made it to the end of the video. For this particular video, I want to know, it's obviously, what is like your favorite Dawn Rashad song? And I would also like to know, what do you think could be the reason she hasn't like blown up yet? Because it's been a while, and I feel like been a while. That's the name of her Dawn Angelique album, and I feel like, what is the reason why she didn't why she didn't pop off, or why I don't know. I would like to know these things. So thank you so very much for watching the interview. And there is ones with Jeremiah, Waka Flocka Flame, Tory Lanez that I still need to upload. I think I forgot something. I'm sure I forgot so many still in the vault. So I gotta make sure Brandy, I talked to Brandy, so I need to, put them out. Thank you very much for watching the interviews. And I love you. Stay blessed. And